Ripples of courage, a sanctuary reclaimed. The suburban park shimmered softly under a heavy, overcast sky, the late afternoon sun casting long shadows across the lush grass. The air hung still, thick with the quiet anticipation of an impending storm. Sparrows flitted in the trees, their soft chirps blending with the rustle of leaves in a gentle breeze. At the center of this serene tableau sat Sophie, a 19-year-old with vibrant green eyes and auburn hair that gleamed faintly despite the gray light. She rested in her wheelchair by the pond's edge, tossing breadcrumbs to ducks gliding eagerly toward her. Sophie's cerebral palsy limited her movement, but her spirit soared unbound. This park was her refuge, a daily escape from the world's clamor where she found solace in nature's simplicity. Yet today, an unnameable unease lingered, a subtle shift in the park's tranquil rhythm. As Sophie scattered another handful of crumbs, a distant rumble pierced the calm. Engines. Low at first, then growing louder, insistent. 3 motorcycles roared into the parking lot, their chrome glinting ominously. The riders, clad in leather jackets with bold patches, dismounted with a swagger, kicking up gravel. Their arrival shattered the park's peace, casting a shadow of tension. Sophie glanced over, her heart quickening, then turned back to the ducks, hoping to go unnoticed. But the men's heavy footsteps approached, their laughter sharp and cruel. One rider, sunglasses glinting, pointed at her. "What's she doing out here alone?" he mocked, his voice dripping with scorn. Sophie's hands tightened on her bag of breadcrumbs, her pulse racing. She focused on the ducks, but the men closed in, circling her wheelchair. Another leaned close, his breath hot. "Hey, sweetheart," he sneered, tapping her chair. "You lost? Need a babysitter?" Sophie's throat tightened, fear silencing her. She gripped her phone, ready to call for help, but the men pressed closer, their laughter growing harsher. One kicked her backpack, spilling pens, a sketchbook, and a water bottle onto the grass. "Check this out," he said, snatching the sketchbook and flipping through her drawings of birds and rivers. "What? Art therapy? Pathetic." The words stung, cutting deeper than any physical blow. Sophie fought back tears, refusing to let them see her pain. The torment intensified. A biker rocked her wheelchair, laughing as she clutched the wheels, her knuckles white. "Please, stop," she whispered, her voice shaking. Her plea fueled their amusement. "Gonna roll away?" one taunted, mimicking squeaky wheels. The others joined in, their jeers drowning out the park's gentle sounds. Sophie tried to wheel away, but they blocked her, pushing her chair back. Trapped, she felt helpless. Then, one shoved her wheelchair hard, tipping it over. Sophie fell to the grass, pain shooting through her arms as her phone slipped away. The men loomed, their laughter a cruel chorus. A voice sliced through the chaos, clear and commanding. "What do you think you're doing?" it demanded, freezing the bikers mid-laugh. They turned to see Amara, a tall, athletic woman with deep brown skin and fierce eyes, striding toward them. Her running gear hugged her toned frame, her ponytail swaying from an interrupted jog. Earbuds dangled from her neck, yanked out mid-stride. Amara had been jogging when she saw the scene. 3 men tormenting a young woman on the ground. Her wheelchair overturned. Outrage surged and she sprinted forward. Amara planted herself between Sophie and the bikers. "You think it's fun to bully someone who can't fight back?" The lead biker smirked, leaning against his bike. "Mind your business, lady." Amara's eyes narrowed. "It's my business now. You're picking on someone half your size. Real brave." The second biker stepped forward, his bulk meant to intimidate. "Back off," he growled. Amara stood firm, unfazed. "Try me." The third muttered, "Let's go, man." But the second, ego bruised, lunged to shove her. Amara, trained in martial arts, sidestepped, grabbing his wrist and twisting it gently but firmly. "Don't," she warned. The bikers faltered, their confidence shaken. Amara knelt beside Sophie. "You okay?" she asked softly. Sophie nodded, tears streaming. "Thank you," she whispered. Amara helped her sit up, keeping an eye on the bikers, who muttered curses before retreating to their bikes and speeding off, leaving dust and silence. Amara exhaled, turning to Sophie. "They're gone. You're safe." She gathered Sophie's belongings, pausing at the sketchbook. "These are incredible," she said, admiring the detailed drawings. Sophie smiled shyly. "I draw here to relax." Amara nodded. Art heals. She helped Sophie back into her wheelchair, handed her the phone, and said, "Call someone you trust. I'll stay." Sophie called her mother, Lila, her voice shaky but relieved. Amara dialed 911, describing the bikers and park cameras. As they waited, she kept Sophie calm with talk of art and ducks. Lila arrived, rushing to Sophie with a tight hug. "Are you okay?" she asked, tears in her eyes. Sophie nodded, pointing to Amara. "She saved me." Lila turned to Amara, gratitude overwhelming. "Thank you," she said. Amara shrugged. Anyone would have. Lila invited Amara to dinner, and after a pause, Amara agreed. At a cozy diner, they bonded, sharing stories of Sophie's resilience and Amara's passion for helping others. The encounter sparked a deep friendship. The days after were transformative. Sophie's fear lingered, but Amara's courage shone brighter. Lila posted about the incident online, seeking the woman who'd helped. The post spread, and Amara responded touched. They met at a cafe, where Sophie gifted Amara a sketchbook of drawings inspired by their encounter. A figure shielding another under a stormy sky. Amara, tearful, praised Sophie's talent, strengthening their bond. They met regularly, Amara encouraging Sophie to share her art online. A phoenix painting went viral, resonating globally. Sophie began speaking at schools, advocating against bullying. Amara supported her, proud of her growth. The police identified the bikers, who faced community service. Sophie focused on change, launching Bright Horizons with Amara, a nonprofit empowering disabled youth through art. On the 5th anniversary, they hosted an event at the park, drawing hundreds. Sophie spoke. "5 years ago, I felt powerless. Amara showed me I wasn't alone." The crowd cheered as they embraced, fireworks illuminating the sky. By the pond, Sophie said, "You're the hero." Amara replied, "You're the inspiration." ... Their bond, born of courage, transformed lives, proving kindness creates lasting ripples.